Hey, welcome to PW Farrell's Bass Lessons. Today what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to review the pedals that I use in my pedal board. These are pedals that, of all the stuff I've bought over the years, I've settled on these ones. There's probably, if I think about it, there's two pedals in my board that I'm going to switch out maybe. But I'm going to show you my favorite pedals, okay? And I'm going to go through it. I'm going to film it all in this one sitting, but I might cut the video up so that the videos become product specific. What I'm doing is I'm actually going through my RC50 loop station, and I'm going to play different basses if the pedals respond differently to different basses. And the way the RC50 works is it's actually got a guide drum track. So I'll stomp the pedal, play a loop, and then I can mute the drum track and the loop will just keep going around in circles, and that way we can listen to the bass line as I tweak the parameters of the pedals. In other situations where pertinent, I'll just play some free stuff. So let's get into it. This first pedal that I really want to show you has just changed my musical life. It's by Xotic, and it's called the X-Blender. And this thing's amazing because what it does is it splits your bass signal in two. So you go in straight into the pedal, and it's like an effects loop. If you turn it on, your signal's going through the pedals. You turn it off, your signal's true bypass straight into the amp, or whatever's after the blender pedal. But what's unique about this pedal is if you stomp the second switch, you've then got two signals. You've got one that's true bypass going straight into the amp, blending with the effects loop. On top of that, you can actually change the balance of how much is wet signal and how much is dry signal that's going to the amp. So what it means is, as bass players, we can reclaim our tone. There's a lot of amazing guitar pedals and stuff that we couldn't use in the past because it just took all the sort of grunt out of our bass tone. Whereas now with this pedal, we can now use all those things, crazy effects, stuff, and you can actually almost reinvent pedals. So there's a lot of pedals that might have had like a brittle distortion, and you wanted to use it, but you always felt like you lost the bottom end. Well, now you can use those pedals because once you've used the X-Blender properly, it starts to feel more like you're adding effects in post-production. You've got a clean sound and you're just adding as much effect as you want without affecting that. It's more, it really is two signals. There's only one output on the pedal, but you've got this control between your clean and dry signal. All right, cool. So I'm just going to play a bass line. Just make something up with this drum groove. Hopefully that works. Cool. So now we've just got the bass line, right? I'm going straight into my pedal board. The first thing my signal gets to is this X-Blender pedal by Xotic. The way it works is, if we stomp on this very first button, we're now getting all the signal going through the pedal board. Because I'm going directly into my octave pedal and all the knobs are off, we're not hearing anything. If I go, now we're hearing the true full effect of my signal just going through the octave pedal. If I was to stomp on this second switch, we're now going to get my clean signal back blended with the effect. Now with the blend knob, this is what's really cool. I can change the weighting. I can change the balance of dry and clean signal. So as I go clockwise, we're going to get more effect. And as I go anti-clockwise, we're going to get more dry signal. Yeah. Once you stomp on that left switch, you also get all these boost and EQ parameters. So the dry signal, you'll get treble. You can add treble to your sound. in case the effect has sucked that away. Lows. And you can also control the volume with a trim pot there. Yeah. So it is an overall... This stage is an overall stage. It's not just the dry signal. There's also a preset boost switch. So what you can really do is you can have that boost switch set so that when you stomp the pedal you get that extra edge, almost like a boost pedal. It's incredibly versatile. The last thing here is this phase inversion switch. Sometimes when you route this through Xotic pedals, you'll find that it doesn't play nicely with having the other clean signal alongside it. So by reversing the phase, you change the tone of the effect. It brings out different characteristics. So sometimes the inverted phase actually sounds better for some pedals. Now this pedal has like changed the game for me because first of all, it enables me to pull up really creative effects tones and not lose the bottom end in my tone. Second of all, it's enabled me to kind of sculpt a solo sound that I wanted for myself. I wanted something that was mine, that I loved, that was unique, and I couldn't get it out of any specific pedals. The Boss ME50B came close, but I found that the true bypass in that pedal wasn't good enough. I thought it degraded my tone too much. So in this pedal board, I've recreated that by using this blend pedal to keep a dry signal, and then the effects, I add the effects that I wanted, which were the ones similar to the ones I was using in the Boss ME50. I'll show you that very quickly. So what's really cool about this pedal then is it brings you new tones that you can't get out of just a lot of these stomp boxes alone. You can basically create a cocktail of effects and clean signals that wasn't possible before. For example, one of my sounds that I use a lot involves applying delay or reverb to an affected signal and keeping my dry signal completely clean with no reverb or delay at all. This is probably one of my favorite tones at the moment for melodic stuff and soloing is octave up with delay applied to that and my bass signal clean. So that sounds like this. So as you can hear, it's sort of new territory for us as bass players to be able to sculpt and create our own sounds because we don't risk losing that pureness of tone. And so for me, this Xotic Blender pedal is a revelation. I hope you enjoyed that review. Peace.